Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Basu. I'm the owner of Fit Armadillo, the fitness company that helps you enjoy fitness at your place and your pace. And this webinar is your 1-hour website webinar. Let me know where you're watching from, if you want to share about your business, whether you have a website or not. It's always good, maybe we can build a little bit of buzz for you today if you want to share out your website or your planned website URL or in your business. Maybe we can find you on Facebook or somewhere else first and then kind of check you out and see how things are going with your business and your website later in the week. I'm going to really try to focus on just one solid hour so you can see how much you can get done in 1 hour with the theme I'm going to be showing you today. But then I'll answer any questions that you have. So this webinar I'm calling it a trainer training because after today, I should have my new website up. So those of you that know me, you know I run a website called Fit Armadillo, and that's where I work with fitness clients. I specialize in online clients, but I also do business coaching for fitness professionals that are looking to do the same thing. So I've been doing that a little bit behind the scenes and running some webinars, but I didn't have a website for it. And part of the reason I didn't have a website for it is that I had such a hard time designing my website the first time around that it was a real nightmare, and it was really something that I was trying to put off. So that's part of the reason. But as I've been growing that business, I have a lot of word of mouth for it, but I don't feel comfortable not having a web presence. Not just because I feel a little bit like a fly-by-night coach without a website, but also because I have a lot of great things I want to share with my personal trainers. So even if they're not going to coach with me, I want to share some content. I've done that a little bit through emails, but a website's really a better way. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So you can see on the bottom here, startyourownfitnessbusiness.com is my new website, and that's what I'm going to be building with you guys today. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to show you going through getting my website set up, at least the basics, so that you could do the same and you could see that it's not really that bad. And then from here on out, I'll have other trainer trainings like this. So different webinars, but also short trainings, just quick videos I'll have on the website that'll help you with this type of content. So if there's small things, I will mention some things at the end of the webinar that would be next steps and some resources for you. I'll probably be doing short videos on those in the future, so you can stay tuned, or let me know which ones you really want to see, and I'll try to get those up. So like I said, this will be a series of webinars that I'll be running for, technically for certified personal trainers. Usually a lot of them that I work with are personal trainers, but fitness professionals in general. So that's what the trainer training is all about. But this is, relevant for anyone. So I'm not going to do a huge background on myself, but I'm going to show you the theme I'm using for the new website. And I guess it's hard for you to see how awesome it is if you haven't tried to design before or gone through the process before. And so this is just my way of showing you what can go wrong, how bad it can be, and why I didn't want to set up a new website and I procrastinated. It took me over a month of 12+ hour days really trying to do my own website last time around. And there's two things you might want to know about me. One, as a business owner, I think most of us are like this. I'm a little bit of a control freak, and I'm also a little bit of a rebel. I don't always like to take advice from what you're supposed to do in business. It's helped me a lot. It's also hurt me sometimes. So kind of, don't necessarily totally model yourself around me. But that's what happened with the website. So I wanted to have a website that was easy to put up. I selected a theme that was a drag and drop theme with a visual editor that I used for the old website. But it really wasn't what I thought it was. What I was building on the back end did not look like what I thought it would on the actual website. So I spent a lot of time unsuccessfully trying to get that to happen. And ultimately I had to hire a designer to come in and fix things. It was a lot cheaper because I had done, I knew what I wanted. I just needed someone to make it look that way. But you don't have to go through that. And that's why I think this theme is so powerful and why I want to share it with you guys today. So you can just get things started. Don't discount the value of a good web designer, but like you can see from my story, at least I had to spend $400 the first time around to get those final edits in, but I would have had to spend a lot more than that if I hadn't done anything on my own. So even if you're starting out, you're gonna if you first have your business, you want to have a web presence, but then you're going to play around with things and see what works. And then once you know what you want for your website, that would be a good time to hire a designer. And this will be a way for you to kind of play around, not invest a lot of money, feel a little bit more empowered that you know how to work things as well. So let's just dive right into it. You guys can ask me more about myself later on. I don't want to talk about that too much, but except for the fact that unless you've played around, a lot of the awesomeness of what I'm going to show you is because it's going to save you the agony that I went through. So I'm actually not a web designer, but I've played around with my website the past year, learned some of the WordPress stuff that we'll go through today, and then also have just found this amazing theme. So things to do first. So if you really want to get your website done today, like I'm going to try to do with mine and launch it tomorrow, you want to start here. Make sure you have a domain name. So the one I'm going to use today is startyourownfitnessbusiness.com. You want to have a host, like a place where your website and domain are going to be living, I guess. And I highly recommend Bluehost. I had a different host, and that was a little bit of a nightmare. They're always trying to charge me for things that I didn't often need to pay for. So Bluehost is my recommendation, but shop around. Outline your website will be the next step, so that's going to make things easier. And then create a folder that has your web copy and pictures that you're going to use, so that it just makes things a lot easier and faster when you're actually going and designing. It's easy to get caught up in, oh, this might look good, oh, that might look good, and never get your website done. So it's probably hard to see, but this is my version of sketching things out for what I want for the website. So next up, after you have those quick intro steps done, you want to install WordPress on your domain. So I'm going to actually show you how to do this with Bluehost. We'll do that together. And then you want to buy and download a theme. I'm going to use Thrive Themes today, but you don't have to use it. So at least you can get a behind the scenes look as we're going through today and decide if you think it's going to be useful for you or not, but that's just one option. And this first step is, I was going to do it just because a lot of people feel like this is really scary, but it's not. So depending on your host, even if you don't have Bluehost, it should be something you can find in the control panel of on your host website. So you'll log in where you have hosting and look for the control panel. Let's go and actually do it. Let's go find Bluehost. Stop sharing. Okay, so I'm gonna share again with the Bluehost screen. So we'll start timing ourselves now. So I'll do an hour of design from this point forward. So we're gonna do, when you're running a webinar, there's a lot of windows that you have open. There we go, Bluehost. Perfect, thank you guys for bearing with me. So we're gonna share this. We'll go through the steps using Bluehost. So this is Bluehost's homepage. So we're starting, okay, 11:51, so we'll stop doing stuff at 12:51, 1 hour of design. Log in here. Let's do that. And what we're going to look for is the control panel. So for Bluehost, it's up here. It's already logged into that. I'm not sure if that's the default or I've just been using that so much, but cPanel is control panel. And then you're going to look for website builders. So we're going to install WordPress. So I'm going to click on that. And then we're just going to click on this great big green install button. And it's going to start installing. It's going to be pretty quick. Okay, so select which domain. I have more than one domain, so that's the one I want. Clicking on advanced options, I'm going to go back and edit this later, but so I'm just going to use their settings now. I'm going to change my password, but if you're going to use theirs, copy it, make sure you have it. Agree to the terms, and then you can install now. So just make sure if you have more than one domain that you're using the new domain that you want to install on. So this is going to pop up. They're setting WordPress up for us. It's going to be very quick. Should be, despite all my windows that are open. So they're going to tell you what I just kind of told you guys as well. The first step is to install WordPress, and the second step is to upgrade the theme. So they have some themes that are $39 a pop. You can browse around. If you buy any themes, I highly recommend that you buy one that has a money-back guarantee, because I bought some themes, oh, it's already set up, before I found the one I'm using now, and it was just, I wasted money because I couldn't get my money back. So just that would be my one word of caution, or one that one of your friends uses. You're going to look at the demos that they have. It's going to look really pretty, but unless you know how to code, you're probably not going to be able to get it to look like that unless you pay more money. So that's just my warning for you. They're gonna try to get you to buy some themes, but make sure you do some shopping around before you do that. So our install is complete. Let's view the credentials. So I'm also going to get an email of this. I did close my email notifications just so that there wasn't one other thing popping up on you guys. But you can view your credentials here. So this would be, you could save this if this was what you really wanted to have as your password. I'm gonna save it so I have it handy as we're going through. All right, and then it's telling you your URL for your website, and then the admin URL where you're gonna log in as an admin. So real quick, before you start adding your theme, and what you guys would see right now if you went to my website, startyourownfitnessbusiness.com, is just this blank page. When we go and play with things, we're gonna see the website starting to take shape, but no one else will be able to see that until we hit launch. So in order to start playing around, we're gonna click on this admin URL. You can write it down. It's basically just your URL with that WordPress login part. I did Catherine Basu, and then I have my new password. Perfect. So now what we've done so far is install WordPress on our domain name. So anyone else is gonna see this up until this point, or even right now. If you want them to see your actual websites, here you can see it might be a little bit small, but because your current site is displaying a coming soon page. Once you're ready to launch, click here. So do not click this until you're ready to launch. I'm not gonna click that until later today, but you're gonna be able to see kind of the back end going on, right? So we've done the first step of installing WordPress on our domain, and our next step is what they were telling us is to get a theme. So I told you guys I'm going to show you Thrive themes, but let me just show you where you could look at some other themes. So you're going to go to Appearance and Themes on that left-hand side inside WordPress. And these are themes that are free. We can look at these again later after we're done. You can customize the colors a little bit, but they're not probably what you want, right? And not what I want. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new theme. And we're gonna add a Thrive theme. So I'm actually gonna go into my Thrive themes. I'm already logged in, but if you do purchase Thrive themes, you're gonna log in. You'll go to the member dashboard. There's welcome videos. There's a lot of support just in videos with Thrive themes, but also there's a forum as well. So you wanna download everything here, all these plugins and the theme you have chosen, but I'm gonna just download the theme first. So one of the steps I share with you guys in the emails before you came to this webinar, if you're watching it live, is that this package comes with 9 themes. So you have a lot of option. Normally people charge $39 or more for a theme, but you have 9 different things to choose from. So one of the difficult things is going to be picking a theme. I've picked Ignition, at least for now. It's easy to switch, actually, by the way, so it is easy to switch. You can click on the demo, view the demo. It's actually going to be something that your website will really look like. But once you've decided, you'll download the theme you want. So it's downloading here. It's going to take about a minute. While that's happening, I'm going to download these other plugins as well. So we'll deal with these later, but I'm just going to download them so they're ready to go. Okay. 0 seconds left. Awesome. We're all set. So we'll go back to where we're going to add the theme. So we're in WordPress. We did Appearance, Themes, and then we said Add New. And so now we have to choose a file. So we're going to choose a file. Whatever you downloaded, the name of the theme with that zip file is what you want. So I'm going to upload that. I chose the file, and then I want to click Install Now. So far, and you can see the progress on the bottom left. We did Appearance, Themes, Add New. We browsed for the file. We looked for the theme name.zip. And then we clicked on Install Now. And that part would be similar, even if you don't use a Thrive theme, if you buy a different theme, which is fine, all these steps are going to be similar. So you'll just have to find the name, and it should be a zip file that you're going to install. So while this is loading, I'm just going to remind you that the next step of what we're going to do is install the other awesome things that come with your Thrive Themes membership, which are these different plugins. So there's 3 plugins. Clever Widgets. This will be something we'll mostly use with the blog, but you can use it anywhere on your site. Thrive Leads. This is how you're going to collect emails. Not only just the little boxes on your website, but you'll also be able to make some really cool pop-ups that are not going to be annoying to people, but are actually going to help you make sure you get people's contact information after they're visiting your site. You can still stay in touch. And then the content builder is my favorite part. It's just going to make everything you're doing actually what it appears to be when you go to look on your website. So it's a visual editor. So instead of having to do code, you're going to be seeing a visual when you're working on things behind the scenes, and then that visual should be the same thing that you'll actually see on your site. So we'll demo all these. Okay, that I was quicker than I thought. I was talking too much. So install the theme. The theme is installed successfully, and we're gonna activate it. That's the next step. Some little issues. Okay, we do have to activate the license. So license activation here. And if you are using Thrive themes or any other theme, you probably just have to go to your member. So we're in the member dashboard already. And in Thrive themes, you'll go to My Product and License Keys. And then you're gonna copy your license key. Make sure you're using the email address that you're using with that license key. And then you'll activate your license. So this should be pretty quick. And it's successfully activated here. Okay, sorry, there's too many things. Thank you, we've successfully validated our license. So check for that validation just right above the box. Okay, so we've installed WordPress on our Bluehost website, on our domain. We've installed the theme, and now we're gonna add some plugins. So we're gonna go to Plugins, Add New. So these are just the plugins that we downloaded in the membership area. Upload plugin, we're gonna upload all of them. Same kind of process, right? You're gonna go here to choose a file, and we have 3 things to add. So the first one I'll add is the one we're gonna use the most, which is the visual editor. We're gonna open that after we browsed for it and install now. Progress is down at the left again. The next thing I'll have us install is, it's called Thrive Leads. It's the one that's gonna help us with our email newsletter and all that. And then we'll finally add in the widget part. So while I'm sure that if I go check out questions that it's gonna be done in a second, but you can see so far we're about, we said we started at 11:51. So we're about 12 minutes or so of actual, behind the scenes time so far. And that's just due to the steps it has to take for us to play around. To dramatically speed up anything you're doing with web design, it's really important to, like I said, make sure you have everything you're going to be working on already set up. So any of your copy that you're going to be using, already had that written out somewhere else so that it's really easy for you to copy and paste that in later on. Just trying to find our question spot in case there's any questions so far. I think we're good. Okay, cool. We're almost there, 91% uploading the visual editor. Perfect, so that's almost done here. I think it's gonna be done in a second. Perfect, and then again, same idea, we're gonna activate, this time it's a plugin, and then it was activated. It told us right here that plugin is activated. We're gonna add 2 more plugins, so we're gonna add the widgets and the Thrive leads. Let's do the widgets, the leads next, so I'm in order and don't forget. Okay, we got Thrive leads. Hopefully this isn't too boring for some of you, that this is like steps you need to learn. So we chose the file, install now. If you haven't installed plugins on your WordPress site before, I think this is just really good for you to see it a few times, because I had trouble figuring it out when I got started too. At the end of the webinar, I'm gonna mention a few plugins that you might wanna also add that are not something that are Thrive Themes products. One's gonna be to help you with your SEO, so help people be able to find your website easier. One will be a backup plugin. So I use Updraft, I think it's called Updraft Plus. Both of those 2 are gonna be free. And then the other one that's also free is, what else do I wanna share with you? Oh, a Schemit. I think it's actually probably already on here, just needs to be activated, but that's gonna help you, and I might not be pronouncing it right, but, but it'll help you prevent spam on your site. So that's important. We're almost there with this one. It's a little bit slower today. I think I have a few more people watching, so that makes it a little bit slower. So hopefully we'll still get a good amount of stuff done. Okay, activate the plugin again once that's done. Perfect, and then we have one more, Clever Widgets. Okay, upload plugin, choose file, And we're gonna look for that one, Thrive Themes and Clever Widgets. Install now. Yours probably won't have a 3. I've just installed it a few times. That was super quick. Activate the plugin. Okay, perfect. We'll deal with this a little bit later. So all that's in there. I'm going to close this list of downloads. So our next step is, or that I'm going to have you do, is to, let's just look at the website so far. So this is what the website looks like without editing the theme at all yet. And remember, if you guys were to go to the website, you won't see this, but this is what we're working on behind the scenes. So nothing really, we haven't done much. We actually have the website up now versus that blank white page. So, or at least behind the scenes, right? We've done this much. We've installed a theme, but it doesn't look like our website too much. So the next thing we're gonna do is go back. I guess I can close out of Bluehost and this just to save some time. Okay, so we're gonna go back to, since I clicked on that, the dashboard, and then we're going to go down to, whoops, okay, Thrive Themes on the bottom left, and we're gonna go to Thrive Options. So this is gonna let us do, the first thing we're gonna do is just set up some things to make it look more like our website. So anytime you see questions, or there should be some videos, I don't see any videos on this, it's pretty simple, but the makers of Thrive Themes have done a really good job of explaining all this stuff for you. So I'm gonna do an image logo, that's pretty obvious. I'm gonna upload my own logo. So we haven't done this yet, but I did make my own little folder of different icons that I want to use on the website, different pictures I want to use. So I recommend, like I said before, we started to do that yourself. So everything's in one place, it's easy to find. So now I'm looking for the logo. So this should be the logo. It looks, you might notice it looks a little bit blurry, but that's because it's going to be pretty small. And we're going to open that so as I'm talking, we can get something done. Quickly, it has a title, but what's best practice for you is to actually also put that at least in the alt text, because that way it's going to help you with the SEO. So it's just going to help your website be found a little bit better. So always add an alt text note to your pictures. So we have the logo now. You can decide where you want the logo. I'm going to keep it at the side of the menu. This is a great option that I'm not going to use, but you can put your phone number on your website. This little guy, favicon, which I might not be pronouncing correctly, is that tiny little picture that shows up when you have your website in a tab. So again, this looks super blurry, but that's the recommended size. It's gonna look fine once we get it up there. And I'm gonna copy a little bit of alt text here. Okay, so the favicon is like this for Bluehost, it's this little grid. For the themes, it's that little leaf. So you can make your own. And I can do a video about how to do that. This copyright text, you can change it to whatever you need it to say. I'm gonna add in my name because I just wanna have that there. Copyright footer links, you can have that or not. I'm not gonna have that, at least right now. If you have a lot of different pages on your website, I would recommend doing display breadcrumbs, but for my website starting out, I'm not gonna do that because it's just gonna be kind of looking a little bit stupid because I'm not gonna have a ton of pages that people have gone through to get to the page you're looking at. So once you've done all these things, and a lot of these are personal, but you're gonna save all changes, and let's just see what we've done so far. So again, you guys wouldn't see this, but behind the scenes what we've done so far. So I have my logo there, my actual logo, and then up here you can see, it might be small, but there's a little favicon icon up here. I'm gonna have to change part of this copy, but all right, so it's starting to look like our site. As you go through, there's a lot of options here that I'm gonna end up changing later once I start blogging on this site, but style and layout, you might wanna play around as you start updating things to see what looks best, but you can easily change the color scheme, where you want your sidebar. This is like when you're blogging, kind of where your widgets go usually. So I want it on the right, keep the default. So here you can see there's actually a video where they're gonna tell you about the navigation. So the navigation bar is this bar right here, or your menus basically. We haven't set that up yet. I like mine to be the float on scroll up. So if you are on the website and you're scrolling down and then you don't see the menu, but you wanna start finding it, just by scrolling up, you'll be able to see that header. So I think that's cool. I'm gonna leave it like that. You can watch a video about that if you do download Thrive Themes for some extra options. Again, like I said, let's see, blog settings. I'm going to turn this off. Do not put post tags. That's actually not a best practice for blogging, even though a lot of people do it. Again, a lot of these are personal preference, but I think those are the ones I want so far. Analytics and scripts, something you probably don't need to worry about. Performance, this is important. So if you want to, if you have a website that has photos, like if you're a photographer, you might want to do something different. But if you are worried about the speed of your website and you just want to make sure it's really fast, and that's something you probably want to do because it's going to help you, it's going to help people stay on your website more instead of having a slowly loading website. So if you are just looking for speed and it's not going to affect your pictures that much, this is something you want to change. So what we want to do is do the lossy compression, or what I want to do anyways. I am also going to turn on lazy load comments. What this means is that when you have a blog post that has a ton of comments, which is not super common these days, I feel like people get away from commenting, but your page is going to load quickly, your blog post will load quickly, but if there's a ton of comments, those will take another second or two to load. So no one's going to probably notice that, but they won't probably get to the comments, but at least it'll make your site go faster. Image resize, I'm going to say scale and crop. I don't have many images yet, but I'm going to start that process. We just have those two. And then I'm going to save all changes. So again, we're just doing some basics right now. Let's see, comments. This would be if you want the comments on all pages versus just your blog. So I'm going to keep that on off. So far it looks so good. This is really cool. You can have people commenting through their Facebook. You're just going to have to do some extra steps. So we're not going to do that now, but that's a cool feature of something you can actually do with your Thrive Themes theme. We're almost there. Social media, you can link up everything. If you want to customize what your error page says, you can do that. Definitely, you definitely want to do this. Related posts. There was a plugin I used to use for my old website that ended up becoming spam. So it was showing like diet pills and all kinds of crazy stuff. But that's not going to happen with the Thrive Themes one because it's just going to show your post. So this is actually really good. It's really going to help people stay on your website. It might look a little silly for me right now when I'm just starting out, not having any real content, but, and then again, there's some quick options here. You're going to notice I often say 3 as what I want them to show for options because it's actually shown that that's an important thing for you to do. For people, if they have more than 3 options, they're gonna have trouble deciding something. So no matter what you do on your website or in your business, keep that in mind. It's gonna be a really helpful point there. Apprentice, this is awesome. I'm not gonna use it right now, but you can actually run courses on your website. So it's gonna give you page options that will make that easy. So I'm not gonna do that now because I actually have that. My one course is a fitness course on Fit Armadillo that I use a different plugin for, but it's cool to know that Thrive Themes has that. So we are about 25 minutes in, so we're almost at the halfway point of just basic setup, but we're getting there. Our next thing is under Thrive Themes to do page templates. And I'll be checking on the questions in a second too. So you have your website. What this is gonna be, and I'm gonna come back and do this a little bit better for myself, but what you put in here is going to be inputted into your privacy policy and disclaimer templates. And they're warning you here that you should really talk to your lawyer to get this specific for you and your business. But at least, I mean, I would definitely set it up at least to start, because if you're not thinking you're going to hire a lawyer yet, you know, it's better to have something than nothing, right? So I would say that you agree, put that info in, what you want to have there. I'm going to play with that more later and not bother you guys with that. But then you can build these templates. Make sure you say check all. There's no reason not to. You don't have to have them on the site, but we can play with them. And then make sure that they're editable with that Thrive Content Builder. That's going to make it easy. So whatever we're editing and see, it's actually going to look like that in real life on our website. So once you click on check all and make these pages editable, we're going to generate them. Might take a second or two. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, so you can start to look at these. You already saw them if you were playing around with Thrive Themes and playing around with the different theme options, discovering the themes. But these are the ones that we have here. So I've already decided that I wanna use the homepage 3 template as my homepage template. So I'm going to play with that one right now. We're going to look at that. So you can view it here. This is what their template looks like. But I don't want it to be exactly the same. I don't want this flower here, right? So I'm going to edit it. Oh, whoops. I want to do edit with the, so you can edit it here, but the easiest way to make it easy to see what you're doing is to edit with the Thrive content builder. So we pay for that. It's awesome. We want to use that. And I need to activate my license. Oh, geez. Okay. So we're going to do that. So let's see. Perfect. We're activated. So now we're going to go back and play with that page. We're going to go to pages. Oops. Okay. Easiest way then we're going to do, oh, we actually were already, no, that's something else. Okay. We're here. So I said I wanted to do homepage 3. So we're going to edit it. I already showed you what it looked like. So we'll go right to edit with Visual Editor. So what you're going to notice is that this page should look, once it loads, exactly like the page that we were demoing just a second, or looking at before, but now we're going to be able to edit it. Oh boy, we're getting slow now. I'm going to close this. Okay. Okay. So what you're going to notice is anywhere you click, you can start to edit things. This green button on the left is going to let you copy something. It's actually very useful. This red guy obviously is going to delete things. I'm not going to delete this, but I am going to change some stuff. So this first big, huge box is the box for the photo. So I do want to change the photo. One quick thing to note, when you're editing your website, it's best to make sure that your photos are already as close to the size that they're going to be on your website as possible, so you're not storing extra data and making your website slow. So Thrive Themes has a different recommended image size guideline for every theme. So I'm using the Ignition theme, but you're going to figure out, you want to see the page for yours, and then it will tell you what to do. So that's what I use, and then I use PicMonkey. That's something I can demo in another video, but it was pretty easy to set that up. So I'm going back to the page after my little note for you guys, and I'm just, all I've done so far, just to remind you, I don't want this flower, so I'm going to click on that box, and then I'm going to say I want to change the background image. I'm going to have to upload that file, so I'm going to select it out of my pages. I'm going to use this one for now. It's a little bit bigger than those other small photos, so it'll take a little bit longer to get it on there. And don't forget, what we want to do is add the alt text, and you want to add it after it loads, otherwise it erases. I've learned that the hard way a few times. So, okay. So don't forget, like I said, make sure you have something for the alt text that's descriptive and not a number or something. That's going to help it be found a little bit better. So there are, just to let you know, you could do a color versus a picture. You can have a background pattern. They have a few here. Whatever you really want, but I'm going to do a photo, so that's what I've done. Okay, so I'm not going to go through and edit every single line, but what I have done already in the, before the webinar is I did make a little cheat sheet, Excel sheet that has some copy that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go and find the copy that I want to add in. One quick note, when I was playing with Excel earlier, if you click on the, what do you want to call it, the cell that your notes are in, and you copy that and paste it, you're going to have some trouble. So make sure you're only clicking on the and highlighting the text. So hopefully I did that properly. So I'm just going to, I want to change this. I don't want it to say mention your main benefit. But what's useful is that Thrive Themes, you're going to notice, they try to really help you set up your website to be highly converting and to help people. So they're giving you tips for what you should do. So we're going to mention the main benefit, the main purpose of this site. And this site's purpose is to help certified fitness professionals make a difference and a living doing what they love. So I'm so excited to launch it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So it looks great, except for it's white, and we don't want white. So I'm trying to use the pink color I have for my current brand as the main color on this website. So I actually have the hex code for that, and I'm going to use it for the text here. So we can talk about hex codes and colors in another video, but if you know the color you want to use, or even if you don't know, whatever you're going to do with color, you can go to this little paint palette and use their default colors, make a custom color. You can make one, or you can do what I'm going to do is my custom color is a color I already know the name of, the hex code. Put that in there, hit enter once. If you're going to use it a lot, I would say save as favorite color and then say okay. Now, again, this looks pretty good, but not great because I don't want this going over her head really. So I'm gonna just do a few edits here. So a really good thing to do is to hit Shift and Enter to make the font or make the word just kind of stacked instead of really spaced out. And you can play with the spacing more too. You'd have to play with it, you know, with the font sizes, right? And you could edit the font size in between lines, but we're gonna keep it simple in terms of that for now. So let's save our changes now that we've done a few changes, adding that photo and editing the text. And let's preview it. So it looks pretty good, right? We've got our logo, our favicon, our little edit. We got this little lady here for the background. Not bad. And what you'll notice is if we look at the editor and we look at what we did, it looks the same. And let me tell you, when I did my Fit Armadillo website, I'll show you real quick, just the website. For the first time, I really wanted to have an image going across like it is right now. But that was one of the reasons why I was lying on the floor that one day, is that it wasn't something that was happening for me. So you might not appreciate how easy this is and how great this is unless you've played around with other themes, but I just wanted to mention that for you guys. So we had that so far. I'll edit this a little bit more to add some description of my own. I'm trying to save on some time for us today. So I'm gonna edit this part. This is a great thing. It's really good to have like right away someplace where people can sign up. And you could have it a little bit different. There's other ways to get their info in right up here. I like this button myself. So I'm gonna I clicked on the button. Let me just do that again. Clicked on it, and now I can edit the short code. So you can see, you could just type in here like what color you really want it to be, put the link where this hashtag is. But just to make it simple, I'm gonna just delete everything and I'm gonna use this little dive short code option to help me out. So I'm gonna use that and just make sure I don't make a mistake. Click on the button option. And I can easily edit it. So I did kind of like that orange color. For the text, I actually just want to say sign up. I'm going to have a sign up for the email list. And then the button URL is actually going to be the URL for my email list sign up. So I have that saved in another file. So I'm going to go grab that link and put that right in here. Open link in the same tab. Sure. And then I think I want the button size to be small. We can play with this a little bit more later. Let's just see how it looks so far. So we're going to save that. Maybe I want it a little bit bigger actually. So edit short code. Let's just type in medium and see if that works. But you could also redo it through this little button. Doesn't look bad. Maybe we do want large, I guess. Let's just see what it looks like in real life. I think that looks okay. I might play with it a little bit more, but you get the idea. I don't want to waste your guys' time. One quick thing I do want to show you though is if we click on this, it's not going to be pretty, but I need to edit this part in MailChimp, but now people can go and sign up for my email list, right? So that's great. Okay, let's get a move on here because I only got about 25 minutes before we hit the 1 hour mark. So I want to show you how much we can get done in an hour. You could leave this if you want. I'm not going to have the blog itself with posts. So if I had the blog going and I had actual posts listed, then this might be good because people could see the posts that I have coming up. Because I don't have that, I'm gonna just change this a little. So I'm gonna end up saying welcome. I'm gonna have more text, I'm gonna edit. I don't wanna waste time copying and pasting even right now on you guys. But what I'm gonna do here instead is actually put in a 3-column little deal layout. So on the side here, I'm going to add that using my visual editor. 3-column layout, I'm going to click, and then I'm going to drag it to where I want those 3 columns to be, the little dotted lines I want that to be. So my 3 columns are going to be a link to a free gift, and I'm going to show you how to set that up. And that's going to show you as well how to use the lead pages that come with this program, which is really a $300 value in and of itself. So it's pretty cool. And then I'm going to do a little thing about the blog, but I'll add all this actual content later. And then I'm going to talk about a free consult. So I'll probably play with the text, like I said, a lot of this stuff later. I did have some copy for the free gift that I think is not so bad that let me just grab it from my spreadsheet. So what's happening? Okay, got to make sure I'm in the text part. Okay, so we're gonna add some text, just getting started, and then I had a little bit of info about the free guide. Definitely want to edit this a little bit better and make it look a little prettier, probably make the text bigger, but at least we have this part. And then I want them to click to go to the free guide. So what I'll do is add a button, my own button. So I'm going to go over here and look for the button option where you want to edit it. Okay, but you should be able to click on the box. I want it to be in the center. I want it to be, I don't know, normal width. And then I don't like this. It's not going to be adding something to the cart. So there's lots of options, but so style, I think style 1, I don't know, we'll do style 6. Again, I don't want to play with it too much on you guys because it's going to be so slow. I'm going to use this color. Why not? And it's not going to be add to cart. We're going to change the text. So link settings. So we're going to just say get it maybe. Let's say if they're going to get the free gift. And you could put the URL like I did before to this boring sign up page, but I'm going to actually bring them to a lead page. So we're going to have to set this up later. We'll have to come back here, but that's what we'll do next. So I'm going to save all of our changes. I just really want to show you how awesome the lead pages is because, like I said, other people pay a lot of money to get that. So we can come back, play with all these little options here, but let's go back to the pages. And I think it's the lead generation page. Let's just view it to see that's what I want to edit. Yeah, so we're going to edit this page. Oh, okay. This is the page we're going to send them to get their free report. But before I do that, one thing I forgot to do, I always forget this, is to change up the link. So you can see if I look at this page, it has this weird URL right now. We don't want that. We want it to have a real URL. So we're going to go to settings and permalinks back in WordPress. So we went to, you'd have to go to dashboard if you weren't in here. So if I wasn't in there, I'd go to here in dashboard to get to where I am right now. Once you're in the dashboard, you're going to scroll down and go to settings and then permalinks so that people can understand our website a little better. The default is this crazy thing, but we want to have it be our post name. You can play with some other things here. We're just going to save changes. And now let's go back to those pages that we have and make our free guide look a little bit better. So I'm going to use the lead generation page. Let's just view it and see what it looks like. So now you can see actually that it has this better name. First, I'm going to edit the page. I don't want it to be called lead generation page when people are seeing it. So I clicked on just the edit up top, and we're just going to say free, I think we want to say free guide. Whoops. So now that's what it will say. We're going to change the, we'll have to change that here. So it'll say free guide for the URL as well. Okay, so we just edited the name of the actual page and then the name of the URL. We're going to update that. And now let's view the page. So right here, view page. So now we can get that URL. We're going to copy the URL and go back to our home page and click on our button and link that button to that free guide. Okay, let's close this, save changes, and preview it. Okay, so if they wanted to get the free guide, this is what would happen. They're going to get to this report. So this might not seem like a big deal, but as you work on your business more, you're going to realize that it's really important to not have people be distracted when they're buying or engaging with stuff you want them to do. So if they just went to the page and we still had all of our menu options, everything else they can click on, they might be distracted and they might not try to download our free guide and they might not get on our email list. So it might seem like a simple, why is this so great? Why do people pay $300 for it? Second part, I'm not really sure of, but in terms of, why it's so great, that's why. It's going to be a distraction-free page. All it is to get them on your list and to get them their free guide. And that's what we just set up. So we set it up, the URL, and then we linked it by going here. We want them to use this button, and then we edited that URL. We put in the URL that's for that page. We copied that. Okay, so now obviously we want to probably edit this page so it doesn't have all this crazy stuff here, and you would do that by editing with the content builder. And everything here you can edit. So we'll do a little bit of edits on this page actually because I think it's important. But the next thing I want to do is, if you notice on our website right now, there's no menu, right? So it's just all kinds of crazy. So what we're gonna do is do that part next. So let's go back to our dashboard. And let's go to Appearance, Menus. So we're gonna add a menu. Dashboard, Appearance, Menu, so we can add the actual menu in. Oh, one thing, okay. Before you do that, you probably wanna have names of your pages that aren't the weird template names. So let's actually do that. So go to the pages first. So the pages that we're using, or at least want in that top menu, I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna edit this and call it home. It'll be our actual home page, it's the one we've been working on. So you can see home page 3. Okay, this is our home page. And I'm gonna call it home here, but in a second that's not gonna matter because we'll set it as a home page and it won't need that. It'll just be the URL, right? But I updated the name and I'm gonna update the name and the URL, and I'm gonna update that anyways, just so you can see the process a few times. We're gonna go back to the pages. So you wanna play around with the different templates to see which ones you like and what you're gonna work off of, but I already know that I'm gonna make most of my pages look like this. So one awesome thing about Thrive Themes is you can just clone these and you're gonna get a page that looks exactly the same, which is something I can't say about other themes I work with, unfortunately. We're gonna have an About page. So we'll rename that. And then I'm gonna say publish. If you guys went and tried to find that URL right now, you wouldn't see it, but now it's an actual page. Go back to the pages. I'm gonna have a work with me page. So that will be like this one. So I'm gonna clone it one more time because I'll have work with me and then also blog. Okay, and I'll probably have more pages later on, but at least this is a good start. So work with me, and we want it to be named work with me. Oops. Probably just copy this and that would be easier. Perfect. Okay, publish that guy. And then go back to our pages. And we'll add the blog one, just so you guys can see a few pages. So this will be the blog one, so I'm gonna edit this and call that blog. And publish this one next. Or update, and then I'll have to publish it. Okay, it looks like it's all good. So now what we're gonna do is actually go make the menu for this. So at least this way it won't just have weird things. You guys can actually see a real menu. So appearance, menus, and you probably wanna do that too. Like this step of actually naming the pages what you want them to be named is probably a smart step to do before you make the menu. So I'm gonna name this as my header menu, create menu. So once you get to appearance, menus, name the menu. So appearance, menus, we're in the dashboard. Appearance, menus. I did a name. Once I named it, then all these pages came up. So I'm gonna click on any page name I want in this menu. So I want the home, about, work with me, blog. For now, I'm gonna put that free guide up there, why not? And then I'm gonna add these to the menu. If you don't click on it, it's not gonna be in your menu. It can still be a page you can send people to. So sometimes you want to actually have pages you send people to that they can't see in your navigation. So like some of these I might, do that later, but they're not actually live, right? And then you can reorder these. So I want the order to be home, about, work with, or home, about, blog, work with me, guide. Okay. And then real quick, because I didn't know this before, if you want to have a drop-down menu, you're just gonna drag your name of the item. If you drag them one over, they'll all be dropped down, just like you see it here. That's how it would happen. If you want to have a second menu, like under about, but I'm going to have them all equal, at least for now. So you can decide if you start adding more pages, you might need to, do that. Like, so you might have about the business, and you might have about me, about something else, right? And then they might be sub-menus under about, and that's how you would do it. You'd make the page and then you'd add it and then just drag it over to have that be a drop down. So once we have the order we want, and you can always come back and change this, we're gonna say primary menu, or wherever you want it. I want it to be up top. Save that menu. The footer menu, we're probably gonna run out of time, but that's where you wanna add your disclaimer that they've already pretty much set up for you. You can edit that a little bit as you need to. So we do the same steps, but we call it a footer menu. So I saved that. So let's actually go and look and see. Okay, so I have, I'm gonna show you what this is all about in a second, but I have now the menu, right? Before we didn't have anything. I don't know if you can tell. No, this one's not gonna say it. Before we didn't have a menu. Now we do. We also have this annoying thing. So you might not have this. I don't know why this is showing up on mine. I don't remember downloading this at all. So we're gonna go and delete it just so that you can see how to delete it yourself. So we'll go back to the dashboard and we're gonna go to, I did this before and didn't do it right. So it's plugins, it should be plugins. I think it's a plugin. And that plugin I think is WooCommerce. Let's try it out, deactivate. And let's see if that helped us at all. It did, so that's not there. But now we're looking at this, and this has our blog as the home page, and I don't want to have my blog as the home page. I want to have this page as the home page when people go type in my URL. So we need to change that. So what we're going to do that is go to, there's actually more than one way you can do this. We'll go to Appearance and Themes. Oh wait, that's not what I want to do. We're going to go to Appearance and Customize actually, because we can actually do more than one thing this way. So let's do the static front page first. That's what I'm talking about right now. So you want your front page to be static, not, you can actually show what they showed in the demo of this page that I ended up editing, but really you want a page that it's not best practice in terms of keeping people on your site, and it's, you know, you guys can read about it, but I recommend that you have a page that's not just your blog, that's going to welcome people like this. So I recommend that you do front page displays, home, and then post page is going to be your blog, right? So you might have different names to these, probably not though, but you'll find them by looking at that drop down menu, right? All those pages are there, but we picked home. So we got here by going to actually Appearance and then Customize, right? That's how we got here. Actually, we're here. Okay, so let's say save and publish. I'm going to show you one more thing here. I want to show you how to set up another email list option, and then I'll probably be at the hour. You know, obviously a little bit of this is slowed down because I'm on air, so it's being slow. Header, yes. Okay, I want to edit these. I want them to look more like my theme. So what I'm going to do is edit the link color to be my pink, and I might change this later, but for now I think that looks good. So I'm going to, again, you know, these are just small things, but as you're changing stuff, it might not look good with the default, so this way you can see how to do it. So we're going to hit enter to get that color in. And then I think it would be actually cool if when I hover on the things, it turns my other color, other brand color, which is a blue color, and I'm going to put that specific color name in. Just copy and paste that in. So now when I hover, I get my brand colors. I love it. And I'm going to say save and publish. Okay. Oh, quick, I'll show you. I cloned the About page and the Work With Me, so you can just, let me just show you real quick how this page looks exactly the same as this page. I don't want that to be the case all the time, but at least I can have consistency in terms of like what the sizes of things are. Again, a thing you might take for granted, but it was not easy for me to do in my old theme. When I cloned pages, inevitably things would not be sized properly. So that's just that. There's more things you can edit here. If you wanted to go back and forth from one theme to another, you can click on change and do a preview. I'll show you. Here's what we would look like as this other option. I don't know. I don't like it like that. Let's just go back. But you can see that it'll just kind of let you play around with what it will look like. Okay. So I promised you we were going to do one last thing, which is set up our Thrive leads. So we're back in the dashboard. So anytime you need to get here, if you're on another page, just go here, dashboard. I guess I should close out this other stuff. Thrive leads. So this is actually way cooler. Another thing I have to activate. Uh-oh, I just closed that page. Thank you. We're ready to go. We're licensed to use this. So now we're going to go back to it. Thrive leads. This is one of those plugins we downloaded early on. So this is actually really cool. They're telling us that you can see stats that are, you know, once we publish how many impressions we're getting. It's really cool. And again, you can see all these videos that they're going to help you with. So actually what I want to do is add a short code. And this is going to be for the free guide because I want people to be able to enter their email on that free guide page. So I don't know if you remember, but I'll show you what that looks like right now. It doesn't look very good. And we're going to have to do some formatting, but it should be quick. You can see how quick it was to get this starting to look a little bit better, like look like my brand. So free guide, so see, this is like not, we don't have a place to enter your email and there's a problem with the short code. So that's what we're gonna be working on right now. We need to set it up. So we're going to edit it, create a form. Oh, do we? Create form. And we need to link it up, so let's just see. Once you link this up, you're gonna pick just, they have some templates here. You can actually edit anything here, so you don't have to have a food, picture if you don't want that. Let's just use number 1, and then we're gonna choose that template. You can edit all this stuff. I'm gonna edit this button because I wanna connect it with my MailChimp. So I'm gonna say connect with service, and I'm gonna go and grab the URL or the HTML for that. So create a connection. Mine's gonna be HTML form code. Perfect. I'm gonna go grab that. Actually, I don't think I saved it. So in MailChimp, basically you go to sign up forms, and then there's an option for embedded forms, and then you will just copy the HTML. It says copy paste to your site, and that's what we're gonna actually do. So I'm gonna copy that. We're gonna go back here. Oh, I'm almost at the 1 hour mark. Oh no, generate fields. Okay, so I don't know what that is. I think I had an extra, I probably did something weird when I set up the email list. It's like, this is not a real list that it's a practice list I was playing with, so this should not be here, but you can verify the email. We just named what the field properties were. You can only validate an email or phone number, so we're just gonna require these ones. You could make icons if you want. I'm not gonna do that. So there's this stupid thing. I need to edit this in MailChimp. This is not a problem with the theme, but we have everything connected. So we just clicked on the box, clicked on connect with service, and then we're gonna say save changes. You can edit like the text, everything, right? And now what we're gonna do is go back here, back to dashboard, and we're gonna copy this short code. We could actually just click on this, copy the short code, go to our free guide page. So start your own fitness business free guide. And then we're gonna edit with Thrive Content Builder and add in that short code so it doesn't have that error message. So we're gonna scroll down here where it says there's some problems, we hadn't set it up. We're gonna edit the short code. Should just be able to get rid of this and put in our short code, paste. Okay. Perfect, save the changes, preview it. Let's test it out. So it looks crappy. It looks like the thing we made, but we should probably do not an email. Let's just say this first. Okay, so let's just try to sign up. And so you can see it says we did not send in an email address. So let's do, so sign up. Okay, mine already exists, but if it didn't exist, you'd be good. So you can see we actually went through and set that up. So it's exactly 1 hour. So let's just review real quick what we've done in an hour. So what we did in an hour is install WordPress on our domain, whatever domain you have. We added the theme, Thrive Themes. We added 3 plugins. One is the plugin that is this guy right here, editing with the content builder. So anytime we go in and we're playing around and changing things and putting images, places, and whatever, and it looks like, when we publish it, it looks like what we wanted it to look like on the back end. Whoops. It's because we had that plugin. The plugin that we did when we made the free guide just now, we were just using the plugin that is the Thrive Leads plugin. So we were setting up this. And it might not look that impressive now, but when you go back to your dashboard and start playing around, you'll see that you have all these reporting features actually, right? So as people are signing up, you'll see like unique impressions, conversions, what your conversion rate is, really powerful stuff as you're building your business. You can copy any of your things that you make. Light boxes are the pop-ups. You can make a pop-up that is an exit intent pop-up. So if someone's on your website and they're starting to leave, you can try to get them to sign up for something. So again, like it might not look that cool that we just did, setting up this, but it's actually a really powerful plugin. We just didn't have time to go through it just, in the basics, but we did. That's the other plugin that we had. The third plugin we didn't really play with yet. It's something that we'd use in the blog. So setting up widgets. So let's just go to the blog real quick. So you can set up like what these things are and make them a little bit better than just what you see right now. So that's something that you would play with in your widget setting, but there's some extra ones with that extra plugin that Thrive Themes has. Other things we did was we added our logo and a little favicon guy up here. We added our menu. We linked up, we had a button here that we linked to our email list. We started playing with the copy. We changed colors. We changed the background image. We started setting up some of these settings here. Oh, I didn't get to do, okay, I'm gonna show you guys one last thing that I think is really cool. I don't know, maybe it's not that cool, but we can edit this guy's picture. I have one of me, I'm not gonna do that right now. What I wanna show you real quick is just, so really you should play around with these options here. Before you do it on your own site, if you wanna see what anything looks like some of the cool features that you can easily add in without knowing code. Because if we didn't have a visual editor, we'd need to know code. So what you can do is go to Thrive Themes and then click on Discover the Themes and find the theme that you, where are the demos? Okay, so there's all these, you can demo any theme you want. I'm trying to look for Ignition. So here's the demo. Oh, don't forget, one thing that's great about this is it is mobile friendly. My other website is supposed to be mobile friendly, but it is not. And I've done a little workaround right now, but it's not. If you go look at forfitarmadillo.com on a mobile phone, it's not pretty, and I beg you at the bottom to use desktop version. But anyways, all your guide themes are gonna, this is why it's so great. It's gonna help you beat the Google apocalypse and make sure your website's mobile friendly, in addition to being really helpful for conversion. So if you go to your demo, you can go to the short codes and see just examples of all the cool things you can do without knowing code. Some of the other, like this is something cool we didn't play with, but you can get that to happen by adding the short codes. What else? What is something else I liked? Testimonials. Oh, we didn't do that. These aren't that pretty. I'll show you some other testimonials. Something else. Oh, countdown timer. All these you can edit, but now this time has run out. Okay. Let me go back to start to actually show you something. So one thing I really like, oh, pricing table. So you can, this is something that I'm not gonna probably put on my homepage. You can play with like what, version you want, right? You can edit all these colors, but this is something, and you would edit the whole table. Like, do you want the right one highlighted, whatever. It's very easy to edit the colors. Okay, but that's something that I've always used to want on my old website, and I can never make it look good. But one last thing is I just think this looks, oh, sorry, I keep finding things I like. The guarantee box, you can have a good looking money back guarantee and edit the colors. They actually do have better testimonials that they weren't showing on that example, but you can see his head's a lot bigger than if you go to my website, Fit Armadillo, all my pictures are very small with that testimonial thing. I don't like it. Okay, the thing I'm going to show you probably might not think is as cool as I think, but I'm going to show you this one last thing, page section. So I'm going to use this to show my as seen in logos. I'm not going to type in everything, but I'm going to grab an image. Oh, whoops, okay. Oh, no. This might not have been a good idea, guys. Oh, to add it, you click and drag it to where you want it, not just click on it. Okay, add media. I'm gonna quickly upload my as seen in logos. I just wanna show you something real quick that I think this makes it look pretty nice. Again, this is something I figured out the dimensions for with the Thrive Themes guidelines for my theme. So this is the time when you can start typing in questions for me, since I'm rambling on to show you this one small thing that I think is good. Oops. Okay, as seen in alt text, don't forget to add it. Okay, so page section. I'm gonna edit the whole thing and make it white. So background color should be white. Okay, but then I kind of like playing with this shadow part. I don't know, I think this is cool. So you can see like it actually has a shadow. And then one other thing I'm gonna play with is, I just think it makes your site look a little fancier. The image, so I click on the image inside the page element there, page section, and I can resize that, center it really quick. It looks great. Let's see what it looks like in the real world on the website, except for all those crazy testimonials I added. But it looks pretty cool. So obviously I'm gonna edit this and put it up here and say as seen in, but I just think that looks really cool, and you might have overlooked it if you didn't know about it. So that's just one thing. But basically all these elements here are quickly added. They're called short codes. They're things you can add in very quickly, very easily, not knowing any code. You can get a preview of a lot of them when you look at your theme and start looking at the shortcode options. You know, that's just that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop because I'll play with this all day long. Let's see. I'll come back and hang out with you guys. So I showed you a few extra things, a little over the hour mark of actual design and setting up WordPress time. But you can see that now that I have those templates, all I really need to do is go in and put my copy on the website and play around with some images. But if I already had that folder ready and I was ready to go with that stuff, it shouldn't take me that long. I might get caught up playing around, but I could get something up that looks decent and that's gonna capture leads and be useful for people pretty quickly. So that's awesome. And I'm gonna go back to my screen share. Perfect. Okay. So last few things. Oh, in case if you do sign up for Thrive Themes, you'll see that this is, you know, what will actually happen when you first sign up. Other tips I mentioned, but you might not have heard, and you will get a replay of this, but just in case you want to write them down, it's important. So I did use MailChimp. I use that for my email marketing, but you can shop around and find which one will work best for you and what people are saying about it. You know, I've just been using it for a while and I find it to be useful and pretty easy. So that's what I use, and that's what you're going to connect all those opt-ins to later on. So you can't sign people up for your email list if you don't have that. So make sure you have something. And then PicMonkey, I mentioned this, it's easy to use to resize images. So when I made that image for the background for the homepage, best practice is to make sure it's the proper size. Thrive Themes is still going to optimize the image, but at least this way you can have some control over what you want the image to have, and then you're not just loading your website down with extra data, right? So the way I figured out the sizes was to go to the membership dashboard in Thrive Themes and search for Ignition, the name of my theme, and then guidelines. But you know, you would do that same similar process. And PicMonkey's free. I like it. I'll probably do a webinar, at least some little videos to help you guys figure out how to do some of that background work. But that would be something you might need to look into. Plugins. So this guy, this anti-spam one, a Skimmit, or however you say it, probably saying it wrong, a Skimmit, I don't know. But it's already, I think, actually on my website right now. I just have to activate it. But if you don't have it already on there in WordPress, you could just search for it. So go to your dashboard, go to plugins, and then search, and you would type in this and find that it's free. It's going to help you block spammy comments. They're just annoying. So it'll help block that out. Yoast SEO, this is going to make SEO a lot easier. So if you're trying to make sure that your webpage can be found, which hopefully we all are, that's a free plugin that makes that process easy. And I'll probably do a video on that in the future. Some kind of plugin that's going to back up your website. This actually saved me a lot of time and money on my old website when I was playing around with it, trying to pretend to be a web designer with a website that does not lend itself to that. And I had one of my pages just went blank. So I actually was trying to clone a page and it ended up making it go blank. Where you could see I very easily cloned pages with Thrive Themes. It was very easy to make mistakes on the other website. And I emailed my web designer in a panic, told her about it, and she said, well, she went in there and looked at it and said, it's going to cost you $500 to fix that. But I had a backup. So I was like, well, can't I just use the backup? And the backup worked. So just, you know, for times like that, that exact situation should not happen with Thrive Themes, but make sure you already have the plugin in set up from day one so that you're not running into that problem. And I am going to send out notes after the webinar, and I'll try to screenshot some of the steps that we were taking so that you don't have to go back and watch the whole thing, or at least you have a guide, you know, as you're going through, because a lot of the smaller things we did were just basic WordPress things that you'll need to do even if you don't decide to use Thrive Themes. Any other questions, let me know. I'm going to go through one or two last slides and then I'll let you go. You can just see a little breakdown of what it would cost you to get what you get with Thrive Themes from other products. So we were just playing with the Ignition theme, but you actually get 9 themes when you buy. So that in and of itself is a $350 value, although, you know, some of those themes cost more and you can easily switch from one to the other. There's a really popular product that almost every business owner has that I was rebelling against buying. It's $300 a year that makes those lead pages that I was showing you for that free guide. That's something else that you could buy, but you don't need to with Thrive because you'll have that ability with Thrive Themes. A friendly pop-up plugin, a compatible one that was actually, you know, friendly and not hideous is $97. And so all that would be over $700, but what they charge you, at least right now, it probably will go up. I know Shane was just interviewed on Entrepreneur on Fire. It's a good podcast. I listen to it a lot, and I think they're going to be raising this cost, but so you can see the value. And I'm just showing you guys this because you might not, if you're starting out and you're just building your website, you might not know that all the cool stuff you get. So definitely though, shop around. I'm not going to feel bad if you don't buy Thrive Themes, but I just wanted to share it with you because it's what I'm going to recommend for any of my coaching clients that needed a website. So I wanted to make a video for them, but then I know that a lot of other people were going to be interested in that as well. And so, a lot of people ask me about how to get WordPress on their sites. I figured this was the best time to show you guys that when I'm actually doing it for my own site. And I think that's really it. If you did find this helpful and you need a host or a theme/visual editor /lead page solution and more, right? There's a lot of awesome things about Thrive Themes, and you want to try Bluehost. I'm actually a Bluehost affiliate too. I'm kind of in love with the Bluehost guys. Don't tell my husband. I talk to them a lot. Or Thrive Themes. I would love for you to consider using my affiliate links. There should be a link below the video right now. If not, I'll add it. I'd love for you to consider using my links. So I want to give full disclosure that I am an affiliate, but I am because I just love the product and it saved me already so much time, so much frustration. I'm actually excited about building my website now. I feel like I can get it up quickly. I'm pumped. And the reason is that you'll be supporting my pet bunny, Nathan, AKA Nate Dog there, his smoothie eating habit or smoothie stealing habit. I don't know if we should really let him do that. He likes organic carrots in his smoothie, so I don't know. I try to oblige him when I can. So that if you want to help out, that would be great. If you want to buy through my link, if it doesn't feel right to you and you want to just buy it regular, then that's fine too. So that's going to wrap up everything I have for you guys today. I'm going to just go and check the console one last time, and then we'll sign it out. Does anyone want to tell, if you want to tell us what your business is that you're going to be starting your website maybe this week, we're going to see it. We can give you a shout out, and our other business owners on the webinar can check that out. So feel free to post that below too, or anything else you want us to see. Check the questions one last time. I really appreciate you guys spending the time checking this out. Let's go to the questions. Lydia, thank you. Appreciate it. Lydia thinks she's gonna get her website up. She hasn't told us what her business is, but hopefully she'll share the website with us when she's done. And Sarah, what does my shirt say? Oh, my shirt says I love Houston. It's actually, I sell some fitness t-shirts over on fitarmadillo.com if you want to go check them out. My most popular one is I don't sweat, I sparkle, but I have my little, even though it's actually sunny in Houston right now, you can see the sun coming in from the window. We've had a rough last few days in Houston and Texas in general, but so I have my little Houston pride, even though we're having a rough time. So say a prayer for us here in Houston. Keep us in your thoughts that we stop having all this flooding and all the rain. Any other questions about webinar or about websites? Let me just refresh. Oh, thanks, Preston. You're very welcome. I really do hope it helps. Yes, I'm an affiliate, like I told you guys, but really I'm sharing this because, and those of you who know me know that I went through a lot of agony with my first website, but just because it's so, I actually bought, I think I told you guys this in the email, but I actually bought some themes. So if anyone wants, I have a few themes I'm not going to use. If you know a web designer that might be able to use them, that's probably the best bet, because I bought some themes before I knew that Shane had this option, and I tried to ask for a refund and they wouldn't give it to me. But so I spent money and time and energy wasted on other things. So I'm just really excited to find it and wish I had found it sooner, especially getting that 90% discount would have been pretty good, right? But let me just refresh one more time, guys. I think that's about it. So today's webinar was the 1 hour website webinar, even though we were hanging out for 2 hours, but I love you guys too much to hang out with you just for 1 hour. Thanks so much again. Like I said, I'll stop rambling, for hanging out today, joining us for this trainer training. I hope you guys come check out startyourownfitnessbusiness.com, and hope to see you guys this week. Can't wait to, please give me an update if you do use Thrive Themes, or even if you find something else that's useful, let me know about it. And I'm always looking for just different options. So, maybe there's something else better out there. Please do share that with us too, so I can share with the audience. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully it's sunny where you are, and hope to see you guys soon. That's all I got for you. Thanks.